Okay, thank you very much for joining, and good morning to you all. From here, we are in morning here. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's presentation. So I believe most of us that we are here yesterday, we are also here today. So we are going to be starting with a kind of evaluation, not that really evaluation, but a kind of a refresher for what I've done yesterday. So I've put in place some few questions on my Mentimeter. I'm going to be sharing the Mentimeter. We are going to join and we are going to be giving our own contribution from there. Are we okay with that? Are we okay with that? Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Carry on.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be dropping the link to the Mentimeter in the chat box. Okay, someone said I wasn't on a call yesterday, so maybe challenging doing the evaluation. No problem. We are going to be explaining it a little bit, so you should be able to cope with it. So just try, and after the end of the evaluation, we can explain it. So this is the link to the Mentimeter. You can click on it. Let us have some interaction there. So that's the link. Another person said yesterday I wasn't around. Don't worry. As we are working on the Mentimeter, we are also going to be explaining so that you can have a kind of refresher or a kind of idea of what was done yesterday. So how was yesterday's training? I can see some comments here, revealing, great, interesting, okay. So from here, I can conclude that yesterday's training was actually great and interesting from the feedback that I've gotten from here. So if you are here to join the Mentimeter, please kindly join. It's going to be a little bit of interaction. And to the next one. So now, I think everybody can answer this one. In one word, can you describe how you are feeling today? How are you feeling today? In one word. This one, I think everybody can answer that. Either you were here yesterday or you were not here yesterday. At least you are here today. So in one word, let me know how you are feeling today. There are few people that are yet to join the Mentimeter. Please let us try and join. So I'm going to be dropping the link again. So in one word, can you describe how you are feeling today? you are feeling good, let us know. And if you're having any challenges during the Mentimeter, please let me know. Two people have joined. Okay. Eager. I'm also seeing excited. So we are eager for today's training, and we are also excited to be here. So that's very good. And I hope by the end of today's training, you are going to actually be fulfilled after today's training. Then let us move down to the next one. Just 5 questions. Okay, this one has to do with what happened yesterday, what we discussed yesterday. Now, you are going to be picking from any of these options. Which of the following best demonstrates that a film is notable by Wikipedia standards? You have A, the film has 10,000 YouTube views. B, the film was reviewed in The Guardian and screened at the Toronto International Film Festival. C, the director posted about the film on Instagram. D, the film has a personal website. Which one do you think? I see someone picked the film has a personal website with a synopsis. There's 2 people who have picked that one. Just wait for like 2 seconds and see, another person is going to pick another thing. Okay, one person picked the film was reviewed in The Guardian and screened at the Toronto International Film Festival. Okay, so now I'm going to use this one to just do a little bit of a refresher for us. As you can see, when we were talking about notability for films yesterday, I told you that when you put something on the personal website, your own personal website, you have a film, and you are the owner of the film, and you are the owner of the personal website, and you're the one that wrote the synopsis, and you are putting it on your personal website. That one will not count towards anything. It doesn't count towards general notability guideline, nor does it count towards the specific notability guideline, because it's more or less like a conflict of interest. And when you go to the first one, which is the film has 10,000 YouTube views, we cannot base notability of films based on YouTube views. What we are basing them on is a category that has been specified by Wikipedia. When you look at the third one that says that the director posted about the film on Instagram, Instagram is a social media account, a self-posted account that you can open it today and post anything that you want. Yeah. So that means that we are left with the film was reviewed in The Guardian. The Guardian is a notable newspaper and screened at the Toronto International Film Festival. The Toronto International Film Festival is also a notable festival, carnival or festival for movies. So what best demonstrates that a film is notable is when, if it is being reviewed by multiple independent and reliable newspapers like The Guardian, the BBC, the New York, when you come down to your local, to the local level, the national dailies. In Nigeria now, we have the national dailies like the Punch, Daily Trust, and the rest. When you go to Ghana, you have it like the Modern Day Ghana and the rest. So when a movie is being reviewed in those papers, then the movie is notable. I think we have gotten that one right. Okay, so for the next one, what is the most important factor for determining a film's notability on Wikipedia. You have A, numbers of views on streaming platform, presence on IMDB, coverage in reliable and independent sources, personal interviews with the filmmaker. So let's see. Okay, someone picked coverage in reliable independent sources. Two people have picked that, coverage in reliable independent sources. And let us see if we can have one more person. The A, B, C, D. Two people have picked coverage in reliable and independent sources. And that is the answer. When you have a movie that is being covered in reliable, independent sources, then the movie is notable for Wikipedia. Number of views on streaming platform does not count. Any movie can be on IMDb. Any person can do an interview, anything, but the coverages in reliable and independent sources is what make a movie to count toward notability line. Thank you. Okay, which of these films is least likely to be accepted as a standalone Wikipedia article? Okay, one person picked the first one, which is a short film that won a Sudan's award. Another person picked a documentary aired on Al Jazeera and reviewed by Variety. So the third one is a music video uploaded to YouTube with 500K views but no media coverage. And the last one is a TV drama reviewed by BBC Culture, 500K views, but no media coverage. It seems we didn't get the question right. We say which of this film is least likely, not the film that is likely to be accepted. So I know this is what confuse us. So if you are just joining, please, the link to the mentee has been dropped in the chat box. Kindly join so that you too can participate in this interaction. Now, if it is film that is likely to be accepted, answer A is correct, answer B is correct, and answer D is correct. So they are all likely to be accepted as a standalone article because Sudan's award is a notable award. Al Jazeera and other variety of news are also notable award. BBC Culture is also a notable award. So least likely to be accepted, that should be a music video uploaded to YouTube with 500K views, but no media coverage. This means that even if we have 2 million views on YouTube and there's no media coverage for that particular film, then it is not going to be accepted on the English Wikipedia. So we have come to the end of the Menti. Thank you very much for joining. And I hope this one will serve as a refresher for what we have done yesterday. So today we are going to be moving to biography creation. How you can create a biography for an actor or an actress. So there are a lot of issues around actors and actresses because they are also celebrity. And when it comes to celebrity, especially talking about BLP, that is biography of a living person, it usually comes with a lot of backlash because they are mostly people that used to promote themselves with PR publications and they might want to use those PR publications on Wikipedia. So I'm going to be taking you through the journey of how you can create the article step by step and how you can select your sources so that you are not going to be a victim of their actions. So I'm going to be sharing my screen to my slide. After the slides, we are going to be having a kind of practical session where we are going to create one article from draft, then we move it to the main space, and if time permits us, we are also going to create another film. This time around, we are going to create it and also move it to the main space. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. So any questions before I share my screen? Okay. So today's day 2, and we are going to continue from where we start from. This is a little bit of my biography. Before we start, we all know that we are being bound by a friendly policy and a universal code of conduct. Please let us make sure that we follow that strictly. So we have table of contents here. This is what we are going to be discussing today: creating a biography structure, in-depth analysis into each section, into each structure. We are going to be creating a sample biography. We are going to be having live questions and interactive polls. So what will you learn today? And at the end of this training, you will be able to, one, understand the lead section and how it works. You will be able to have a practical in-depth analysis of all the structures when it comes to biography of actors and actresses. And you are going to have the idea for creating a new article, because we are also going to be creating a new article from the scratch. Now, the first one, which has to do with the actors and actress biography structure. Now, we are going to be having the lead section, early life and education, career section, personal life, controversy, if applicable. That is, sorry for that interruption, please. So, as I was saying, these are just a kind of sample of what you can use to create a biography. Now, when you have the lead section, the early life and education, the career section, personal life, and controversy, if applicable. If there's a controversy on that particular person, then we are going to be discussing the filmography guidelines, that is the film that the person has featured or created or produced and so on. Then we are going to be looking at the awards and nominations section. So let's continue. Now, the lead section of an article. At the review stage, if we are reviewing an article at the AFC, most of the time, what we look at is not the whole article. We look at the lead at times, because we believe the lead is just like a perfume that can either repel or attract reviewer. When we look at the lead and we couldn't find anything useful in the lead, the person can either just leave the article there or decide to read with that impression and eventually reject the article. Because the lead is the one that is going to project what you are doing. That's why you need to calm down and make sure you understand how the lead works. Sometimes somebody is notable, but it will not be that notability will not be shown in the lead, and the article will end up being rejected. There's an article like that for one academician like that. In the lead, you will not even see that the article is notable. It is during the early life and education, during the career, that all those things that make the article to be notable was introduced. So the article found its way into AFD discussion, and after back and front, so we had to go and check and see, okay, the article is notable just because of the lead as having a problem. So if you want your article, if you want to project your article to the world, you have to make sure that your lead should do that projection. Now, the lead it will introduce the biography. It depends on how long your article is. At times, your lead can be a sentence, it can be a paragraph, it can be 2 paragraphs. If you are writing like a GA article now or a featured article, you are going to be having up to 4 paragraphs because it's going to give a concise summary of whatever is in your article so that at a go, one can easily look at the article and know what it's all about. Another thing why you need to calm down to write your lead is that if anybody is browsing anything about your article, it is what is in your lead that will appear in the search box. So there's something called SEO, search engine optimization. So what will be projected in the SEO is what is in your lead. So if you are looking for my name now, if I'm on Wikipedia, the lead sentence or paragraph is what we show when you are searching for it on any of the search engines, either Google, Bing, and the rest. So that's one of the reasons why you need to sit down and make sure that your lead is given due consideration. Now, what can you include in the lead? So don't just say because we ask you to make sure you write your lead very well, and you just go on and list the whole article in the lead. Now, what is going to be in the lead is 1, the person's full name, which will be in bold. You are going to bold the person's full name. At times, the person's full name might not be the name of the article. For some people that use 3 or 4 names, in Sudan, I think they use 4 names. In Nigeria, we use 3 names. So people that use 3 names, the name of the article, the name that is being used by the media might be 2 names. The common name might be 2 names. Or when when it comes to artists, at times they have their popular names that many people know. For instance, now, like Ogogo now in Nigeria, you might not be able to know his real name, but you know the name Ogogo. So if you are creating an article for him now, you are going to use his most used name on the internet as the name of the article. So when you now come to the lead, you will now write the full name, also known as, then you put the sobriquet. So you are not going to be using this. You are not going to be using the sobriquet as his full name. His sobriquet will be used as the article's title, but in the lead section, you will put the full name, also known as, then you put the sobriquet. Now, the point is that all the names will have to be in bold. Because if you are using the full name as the name of the article, if people want to browse about, if they wanted to browse about him, they will only use his sobriquet to browse about him. They might not use his own legal name to browse about him. Now, after you have written the name, the next thing is the profession. Okay, let me say, okay, let me use my name now, Moib Shefim. That's my full name. My profession is, I'm an actor, nationality from Nigeria, date of birth, the day I was given birth to. So Moib Shefim is a Nigerian actor. Now, you see, you have put Nigerian there, you have put my profession there. If you know my date of birth, you can put it in bracket immediately after my name. Now, notable achievements. Maybe I have won the Oscar award. So you can say Mohib Sheffi is a Nigerian actor who is known for winning the 2025 Oscar Award. Full stop. So you see, you have included what you are supposed to include. And when you are writing the lead, you have to make sure that it is neutral. Neutrality on Wikipedia is not something we joke at. You have to make sure that it is what is neutral. You not say that Moif Shafiu is the best Nigerian actor because is the best Nigerian actor because he won the Oscar 2025 award. Even if I'm the only one to have won the award, you cannot use the best for me because you cannot measure best. And it is not in a neutral and objective tool. So you allow the reader to decide if he is the best or not. So if they can decide in their mind, since I've won the Oscar award, I should be the best. So that one is what they are decided. But you cannot conclude in your list section because of what you are saying. So this is what you are going to be including in your lead section, and it should also be neutral and from objective perspective. Now, at times you see some people having 2 or more heritage. They have 2 or more nationality. How can you handle that? So if someone has multiple nationality, it's better to list nationality rather than join them together. For instance, you can say, look at the example here, is an Algerian and French actress. Don't say Algerian and you put hyphen French actress. No. It's Algerian and French actress. But in a situation whereby the person has a legal identity, but also it can be traced. It can be traced back to another identity. Then you only include the legal one, but you can do so by including the heritage inside the body of the article. I think we get that one right. Okay, so don't say British Nigerian actor because the person is a British, but the person has Nigerian heritage. So you can only say it's a British actor, but in the article's biography, in the article's body, you can explain how he has heritage from Nigeria. Now, I have 2 examples of strong leads here. One for a BLP and another one for somebody that's not alive, a dead person. When you look at the one for a, see that they put the date of birth and the date of death in brackets. Presley Ogen, it was born in 1984 and died in 2025. You see that they use the word was, a South African actor. So you should take note of that. This was here, when you use this was here, it means the person is no longer alive. Now, he rose to prominence for his steering roles in Saucy, which won the Academic Award for Best Foreign Language Film. Full stop. Here, they talk about his name, they talk about his date and date of birth, they talk about his nationality, and they talk about his achievement, what make him known. When you look at the BLP, that is biography of a living person, the person that is alive. Marwa Zain is a Sudanese director and film producer, known for Khartoum Offside, that was produced in 2019. She advocates for women's rights through film. You see that there's no unnecessary wordings there, and it was done in a straightforward perspective. So these are the 2 examples of the strong lead, BLP, and the one that's not alive. So now, why do you think the leads matter? The first one is that the lead set the tone for the entire article. It is the one that will show the word. Which tone are you using for the article? It is the one that will be visible on Google and Wikipedia search results. It is also the one that will tell the reader if they are to continue reading or if they are to stop. And the most important one, it is the one that supports the credibility and notability of the article. Now, let me go back to those articles and show you why those articles are going to be considered notable. This person is going to be considered notable because he has a film that won Academic Award for Best Foreign Language Film. That's the reason why it is going to be considered notable. While the second one, he produced a popular film called Khartoum Offside in 2019. So that's the reason why it's going to be considered notable. So if you do not put anything that you can tie your notability on from the lead section, you might have problem with the article. So the lead section is going to, you have to tie your lead section to a notable entity. Now, the next one, which is early life and education. See, from this early life, I've included what we need to include here. So it's a combination of two things. And the reason why I'm doing them together is that most of the time, most people do not have enough information that can fit into early life only or fit into education only. So with that, you can join them together. But when you have an article that have enough information that can fit into early life, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs only for early life, then you cannot separate it. Early life, then you write the early life, the education also you write it. But most of the times, if you have a few information about the two, you join them together so that they can be able to have a standalone section. So here you are going to be putting the place of birth, names of parents and siblings if they are notable, or if they have been mentioned in any of the reliable sources, you can add them. Other places they live while growing up, put them up. Schools they attended, primary, secondary, or university, and you can also include the degrees that they earned, if it's also applicable, if the person earned a particular degree. Now, look at this example of a good early life and education. And if you notice that in my lead section, you do not see any references there. You do not see something like this. You know, here I put references like 1, 2. When you look at my lead, you see that I did not put any references there. So it is allowed for you not to put references in your lead section, because the lead section is just a summary of what is inside the body of the article. So whatever you are writing in the body, if you have referenced it, so you do not need to reference the lead section. But in some articles, you see them referencing the lead section. So, but normally, if your lead section is from the body of the paragraph, the body of the article, you do not need to reference it. So just leave it there, then you can do all the references in the lead section. So when you go and look at GA article, okay, or featured article, let me show you an example of a GA article. Now, when you look at this article, it's a GA article. look at the lead, how long it is. You see that there's no single reference there. No single reference there. Because it is believed that you can see that here there are references inside this place, and every claim has a reference. When you look at the lead, there's no. When you look at the lead, there's no reference. This is because it is just a summary of whatever is in the article. So this is what I'm trying to explain. So let us go back to our slide. Now, that's the reason why I do not reference it. Now, example of a good early life and education. Fatima Yusuf was born in Kano, Nigeria in 1991 to Abdullah Yusuf, a civil servant, and Amina Yusuf, a school teacher. She is the third of 5 children. She spent her early years in Kano before the family relocated to Kaduna, where she completed her primary education at Queen's Nursery and Primary School. This is a claim. I made claims here. So this is the references of that claim. She attended Federal Government Girls College in Zaria for her secondary education and later earned a bachelor's degree in theater art from Ahmadu Bello University in 2012. This is another citation for that claim. So the two claims that I made, I put citations there. So this is how we structure it. You can see where she was born in Kano, Nigeria, the year she was born, the family she was born into, where she spent her early years, the primary school that she went to, the secondary school that she went to, and the college that she graduated from. So this is what formed the part of early life and education. So now we are going to be moving down to career section. No career, there are a lot of things about career. There are people that are in their early career, there are people that are in their mid career, or they are professionals in their career. So it depends on the kind of career that the person is. So this is what we determine what you are going to be writing for. At times, when you have enough career, you can even divide them into paragraphs. Fatima Yusuf began her career in 2010, and she worked with this company and this company and this company. In 2012, she moved to this particular company, and so on like that. So you can detail them based on the years that they worked, or based on what they have produced, and so on. So let us look at the example for that. Now, when you look at this example, it is divided into 2 paragraphs. Kemi began her media career as I started here when she began her career in media, because that was what propelled her to career in the creative industry. She began her media career as an editorial intern at the Guardian Nigeria, where she contributed feature articles and supported the lifestyle desk. In 2022, she joined Post Nigeria as a content writer. There, she focused on entertainment and youth culture, producing viral interview and trade analysis. Kemi is currently a freelance script writer. Sorry, we put the WhatsApp on silence. Kemi is currently a freelance scriptwriter and digital storyteller, working with production houses across Lagos. So now you can see that she is a scriptwriter and digital storyteller. So, and she began that one after she joined Post Nigeria. So it has to be chronological, depends on information that you are able to lay your hands on. Do we get it now? So let us move to the next one. Now we have personal life. In the personal life, you have to include significant personal details. In the sense that it's cut across relationship, marriage, divorces, especially when it comes to actors and actresses. You know, they have this issue of marriage, divorces, and so on. So you can include that one if it's very relevant. So the children they have birth to, the notable health issues, life events that influence their career, and so on. So now, please, if you are on this, you have to be very respectful and neutral. You need to include the the verified and public information. Do not draw any conclusion. If you are drawing conclusion, you are going to be putting undue weight on a BLP. Now, what we mean by undue weight is that you are going to be taking sides if you are concluding. For instance, someone is in a relationship and the wife complains of that the person is not sincere with the marriage, and eventually, maybe 2 years ago, then after 4 or 5 years, they divorced. The media did not say that it was because of the complaint that the wife did. That's what made them to divorce. They said, okay, we have come to a reasonable conclusion. We are going to be separating this marriage. Let everyone go. So you are not trying to say that in the last few years, the wife complained about him not being sincere. That might have led to the divorce in 2025. Nobody's asking you to conclude for them. They divorced, they divorced. That's it. So if in the news media that carry the divorce, they said, oh, they divorced because of cheating, insincerity, and so on, then you can put it there. According to Daily Trust, the main reason behind the divorce is insincerity, full stop. So you cannot say that that's the reason behind the divorce. So let the media that says it, you have to indicate that, so that you will not be putting undue weight on a biography of a living person. So please do not draw any conclusion. Now look at this example of a personal life. Tunde married fashion designer Amaka Nwosu 2018. The couple has 2 children, a daughter born in 2019 and a son born in 2022. In the 2021 interview, Tunde revealed he was diagnosed with anxiety disorder in his mid-20s, which influences advocacy for mental health awareness among creatives. He currently resides in Abuja with his family. So, and you are going to put, at the end of each paragraph, you are going to be putting where you get the information from, which is your source. The main reason why I'm giving a lot of examples is that by the time we start to create our own article, we should take into consideration all those delicate things. Because when it comes to creatives, we call these people uncreative. When it comes to creative, if you do not do it right, there are a lot of issues surrounding it. I remember creating an article as far back as 2023. Then later on, after like a year or so, the person raised and went to ANI to say that I created an article for him and I did not allow him to edit his article. Anytime that he edits his article, I do come back to revert the article. So when the investigation started, they look at the edit summary. The person was even accusing me that maybe the main reason why I'm doing that is maybe I wanted to extort him. Then they look back at the history of the article. The only time I edited the article was when I created the article. I even forgotten that the article is in existence. But the problem is that it's trying to put all this unverified information on the article. And God's so good. Whenever you put it, someone is there and admin is there to revert it. I didn't even know what was going on until my attention was called to that the article is being, someone is raising a question about the article. And he eventually said, if they cannot allow all this information that is trying to put in the article to stay, they should delete the article. And the article went to AFD and the article was deleted. So please, if you are creating article, just make sure you use only verified information that you can see on reliable newspaper, not gossip website to create article, especially this kind of article that we are creating in this project. Now, because yesterday when we were trying to do cast, you can see that I just put them in bullet points because we are creating a stop. So in a start article, in a full-blown article, you do not have to list them. You can put them in a structured table where you can separate them by year, by role, and everything. So if you are putting filmography, that means you are putting the films that the person has created, or the films that the person has directed, or the films that the person has featured in. So what you need to do is to have a structured table for them so that they are going to be looking very neat. So I'm going to be showing an example of a structured table now. This is the example of a structured table for a filmography. You can see the title at the beginning. You can see the format. Title, Echoes of Silence. Format is a film. Actor, yes, he is an actor in the film. Director, Kole Afolayan. Producer, Kole Afolayan. Writer, the person that wrote it. Note, you can put it. Or you can also use another strategy by putting title, year, and its role. For instance, Echo of Silence, title, year 2019, its role. Then you can put maybe manager, or its role is gate man, or its role, and so on. So it depends on how you want to do it. But make sure it is in a structured table, not just bulleted points. And at the end of every, when you are listing them, you have to put the references where you get the information from. I think we are following. Okay, so now we move down to the award section. So if you are creating article if you are creating a section for the award, what you need to do is that you need to make sure that you showed a consistent format of showing that, okay, this person won the award or it was only nominated. Some we use green color to show that the person won the award. Some we use red color to show that the person was only nominated but did not win the award. So you can have a structure like that that will show the kind of award that the person has won. Now, it can be like this: year, awarding body, African Movie Academic Award. Category, Best Actor in a Leading Role. Work, Echo of Silence. Result, 1. Reference, you can put the reference here. So this is how you can also lead the award section. Now, this is the kind of conclusion before we move to the practical aspect where we are going to be creating an article. From the beginning of the creation to the end of the creation, you need to make sure that you stick to a neutral tone. Yesterday, we discussed neutral point of view as you are giving a fairly balance to each and every information without using your own background to influence what you are going to be writing. So that's neutral point of view from a neutral perspective. And also, if you are making any claim, you have to cite reliable sources. So and also you need to respect the Wikipedia notability and sourcing rules. So also, when it comes to structure, you have to structure your article using consistent heading. In the sense that if it is heading, the first one is a capital letter, the rest will be in small letter. The first one in capital letter, don't put everything in capital letter or everything in small letter. So then we have come to the end of the slides. Thank you for joining. Before we move to the practical session, let me see if you have any question, observation, or you want me to, there's something you did not understand, you want me to re-explain. Thank you very much. Let's have just 1 minute or 2 minutes for that. Thank you. Thank you too for clapping for me. I can see that Detios Ingaza from Tanzania. Thank you. So questions before we move down to the practical session. So if you have questions, you can just raise your hand and speak. Thank you, Big Tony, for that. Okay, if there's no question, we are going to be moving on to the practical session. This morning, I just look at the internet to see I can get a name to create. So I come across one name that has not yet been created. And I also come across a lot of films that have not yet been created. So I know yesterday we created a draft for a film. So that's why I want us to go for a BLP today, biography of a living person. So just like just like what I told you yesterday, the first thing you have to do is to go to Wikipedia to see if the person has an existing article, so that you are not going to be duplicating the article. Now, the person I wanted to create article for is Shagun Ogini, is from Nigeria. So let us try and search. If you are the first thing you do, you can see there's Akin Ogunwe, which is not the person we are looking for. There's Shagun Odegbami, there's Akin Ogunwe here, and so on. But this is not the person we are looking for. This shows that the page Shagun Ogungbe does not exist. You can click on this Shagun Ogungbe to start creating the article directly into the namespace. Mind you, I told you it is not advisable to do that because as it is entering the main page, some people might be dragging the article with you, and you might end up losing your edit. So all you need to do is to put draft at the back of it, then you search again, then you click on the draft. Because I've done the background check, so let me just show you the background check that I've done. So I click on news, and I've been able to see a lot of coverages about him. I will show you one that is even much more that is very promising. All these are coverages about him, his wife, his controversy around marriage. Okay. So all these are coverages about him, as you can see. There's one coverage that pushed my attention to it. Okay, check what Google's biography, age, wife, children, and net worth by Legit newspaper. As you can see, Legit has covered a lot about him. So as you can see, so let me click on this one that has all his biography. Good. As you can see, it was, if you are looking at legit, it's a reliable newspaper from Nigeria. Also, I think it's also in Ghana too with a different name. This is the author of the article, as you can see. This is the title, the name is there, there's a byline. So everything that makes an article to be reliable is there. Now, so the said Segun Ogungbe is a Nigerian Nollywood actor, movie producer, director, and scriptwriter. So he's best known for featuring in films like, you mentioned the films, and they come down again to explain how he became prominent in the industry. Then they give us a profile summary of him. This is his full name, Segun Akani Ogungbe, male, the year of birth, the zodiac sign, and so on, Nigerian, Black, Christian, and they gave us a lot of information about him. Not only that, they also tell us where he was born, who he was born to, where he schooled, his uncle, when he starts to film, and so on. And they also talk about his career, when he started his career, his film production company, and also a lot of stuff like that. They also give us an IMDB profile of him, where we can use to create a filmography section for it. And they also talk about his wives. They said he married 2 wives and so on. As you can see, they also talk about his children too. 5 children, and they listed their names here and so on. So now, as you can see, we have a source here that talks about him a lot. And we also have him producing a lot of films that are notable. So now what we are going to do is you have to be putting them in another section. So the break is 2 wives. So let me remove this one. I just wanted to look for that source. You can see he has a lot of comic. This is another one. I was not married to Shekin. He just had kids and children. How I cope with my 2 wives, and so on. Now, what I used to do is that I used to have a kind of Microsoft Word draft. I will have drafted in Microsoft Word, put the links where I'm supposed to put them, then I'll start by taking them from my Microsoft Word down to Wikipedia. So I'm using them my Microsoft Word as a sandbox, so that by the time I start to create the article, I won't spend much time on creating the article. It's something you can also adapt, or you can also look for another method that can make it simple for you. But the most important thing is that you need a little bit of research before you can create article on Wikipedia. If you refuse to do research, you will not get the information that you're supposed to get. So I'm going to start now. So let me start here. So this is my Wow. So the article, I think, was created. There was a time I drafted the article, but I did not finish it. So it was okay. No, it's not a problem. So now what we are going to be doing is, so let us start. In the lead section, we have the name. What is the full name? The full name is this. Right? This is the full name of the person, Segun Akani Ogunde. But this is the popular name. This is the popular name. So the next thing is to bold it. Just like how I've explained in the slide. So the next thing is to put his nationality, his professionality, film producer. So if they ask you where do you see that one, what you're going to do is to go to the source. I'm seeing a chart in the box. Okay. Problem. Film producer. So you can put full stop here. So let's go back and see. Okay. So they said it's known for this film. So you have to paraphrase it. Is known for his lead roles in, when you go back to the films. So here the role is best known for featuring in films like, so I changed that one to lead roles and you list those films. So let us see if he has any award. Let me just browse award. Okay. In 2019, he was nominated for Movie Personality of the Year at the City People Entertainment Award. So he was nominated. Is there any award that he got? Let me browse it. That's 2 hours. Then City People Movie Recognition Award. So let's put his name there and look for the source. Okay, this is where it was listed that he won the, let us check. Then for his name, Shegun Okay, so movie icon award. So he was given the movie icon award by City People Online. By City. He is also the recipient of City People icon award by City People. City People, let me check. City People magazine. Also, recipient of the 2021 movie icon award by City People magazine. He is indeed. So I'm not going to be putting any citation there. So the next one is early life and education. Early life and education. So just like how I told you yesterday, you can either use the long version of changing this one to heading, or you use the shortcut version, which is early life and education. So when you go back to his article here under his biography, they said he was born in was born on the 28th of March 1970 in southwest Nigeria, and he was born into this family. So, so let us write. So Shogun was born into the family of late on the 28th March 1970 in Abeokuta. And put full stop. So where did you see that information from? So you have to come and carry the link here, and put the citation here. You see it. So the next thing now is to add your reference section so that by the time you publish it, you can have the place for the references. Then the next thing, just like what I told you yesterday, is to add your ref list. Your ref list, if you are wondering how I did that, there are two ways of inserting a template. You can either click on insert, click on template, and you press whatever you want to press, or you can press the two curly brackets and you have the same result, then you put ref list. If you generate the ref list for you, then you can click on insert. So this is where your references will be. Now, under the early life, we have talked about his early life. Then let us talk about his education. Let us see if they talk about his education here. Okay. So he completed his first school leaving certificate and West African school certificate in Ibadan, Oyo State. That means that he did his primary and secondary school in Oyo State, Ibadan, Oyo State. So you not write it directly, you just say he obtained his, his primary and secondary certificates from certificates from this. You have to, plagiarism is something that's very, very bad. As you can see that what I'm doing is that I'm trying to paraphrase. I'm not just taking them word for word and putting them there. So please don't do that. If you don't plagiarize. You read the information, then you try and you paraphrase it in your own words. Understand? So stop. So let's see if we can get any other source that talk about his education also. Here, no information here. Was born in the 70s to a family of entertainers at the age of 3. Was already featured in stage plays and films by. So he has his primary and secondary school in Ibadan. As you can see, we have it here. That is, therefore, he started regularly in Nigerian film. In 1996, I started my own film company. Okay. As you can see, we have another newspaper here confirming that. So what we need to do is to take it and go and use it on the Wikipedia. Can create. Now we have 2 references now, confirming that. So then we have done the early life and education. You can tell me the next one that it can just be as if I'm just talking to myself. During the slide, we talked about the lead section, the early life and education. As you can see, my early life, the first one is in capital letter, while the rest are in small letter. This is how it's supposed to be. So what is the next thing now? Anybody? To remind me from the slide that we have discussed. Yes. Okay. So I said the next one it should be career. So can someone tell me the short code that we can use to change this career into heading? Anybody? What is the short code? That if I don't want to go through the process of this, which other way can I use to do that? Okay, so let me repeat that several times. You are going to be using the double equal to, so it can generate career for you. You can see. So now, we need to go back to his career and see what we can find. Here, there's a section for career here. Searching for career here. Good. Let us follow it chronologically. When did he begin his career? Okay, so here they said, I read something like he began his careers at the age of 3. Okay, you see, at the age of 3, he was already featured in state plays and optical films by Baba Ogungbe, Ogundeba, and Baba Salah. As you can see here, so you can go back and say, as early as 3 years, here he featured in films by that's Baba Ogungbe. These are names of people. Also, featured in again, Ogungbe career. Let's see if you can see any other thing here. Okay, there's one source I see in Tribune. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, this is a kind of interview. So let's see if we can use, if we can get any personal information there that we can use. Let's check out another one. First one here. Okay, see, I was born to a family of entertainers in the 70s. I joined the professional from then. I've been featured in the movie. I featured in Ataka magazine at the age of 3. Was already featured in state plays and optical film. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to look for. I featured film Nawasala, and Atoka magazine. End of thing. So we're going to be using these two sources, this one and this one. So this one, we have used it before, so we are just going to reuse it. So site, then we reuse it. This is source from PM. This is number 2 here that we use number 2 here. So this one that is a new source, so we are going to copy it and cite it again. Under automatic, we paste it and we create the source. So let us continue his career. Shegun started his career as early as 3, where he featured in films by late Baba Olungbe, Ogunde, Owasala, and Atoka magazine. Let's see if we can get more from him. His career here. They said in 1996 he produced he funded his film in 1996 and produced his first movie, Ibikiga. So we are going to paraphrase this and use it. Here, they said he started, he funded, so we are going to be using started. So please, you have to paraphrase. It's very important. Called Shegun Ogungbe Films Production. And he produced his first film, The Giver. So let us look at this source. If you can get, when did he produce The Giver? Oh. So, okay, so this is his first film. Talk about his brother here. So, his first movie was Banque Desperado in 2004, 5. Okay, so his first movie was Banque Desperado. You are using the title, the reference in it. So let us see if we can get another information. Okay. Video that make people know about Shegun Ogunbi. Okay. Banque Desperado, and it came into limelight. To limelight. Cite this one. Use this one again. So the next one is it's a controversy, very big controversy around this marriage. Marriage controversy. What happened is that in the early 2010, 2020s, okay, let us just put something online and say, okay, marriage controversy. See. You see, two of them have been parading themselves as husband and wife when you check some newspaper like um, like this. You see how I cope with my two wives. This is 2018. How I cope with my two wives. Uh, so there are a lot of articles on two wives. But this year, another thing happened that the second wife had to come along and say, okay, this person that you have been calling my husband is not my husband. We didn't get married. We only have two kids together. She and were never married and or engaged. Contrary to popular speculation, she emphasized that Wunde never met her family, with the exception of a friend of her sibling who resides in Lagos. So that's a very big controversy. Someone that has been parading themselves as husband and wife. Later on, the wife said, no, he is just my boyfriend, and we only have two kids together, and that is all. So that's a very big marriage controversy. So you can also include that one as marriage controversy. So we are not going to be taking side. You see, I'm going to be doing is Shegun has been widely documented. Of married wives. Then I'll have to put I'll have to put uh the citation where I got that one from. I think it is here. That's why. You are married to two wives, yes. How did you do? Okay, so you confirm here that you got married to two wives. There's another one with how I cope with my two wives. I think, yes, it's here. How I cope with my two wives. So, so here too, you confirm. As you can see, the two wives are here. That's how he copes with his two wives. So, and he's being referred to as they were being referred to as wives, 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 the junior wife, the senior wife. So now, so let us add this one to it. So there's something they are telling us here that there's a problem here, missing or empty title. Just click on this edit. So the title is missing. See, there's no title here. So you can do well by putting the title here. What is the title? How I cope with my two wives. Actor, Shegun. As you can see now, that's finished. So what did you do? Okay, okay, we're even here to publish. No problem. We can publish everything at once. So now, as you can see, we have our source here. Then where is the controversy? However, in 2025, Omowumi Ajiboye, which is the second wife, Omowumi Ajiboye, so that's actually in capsule of that, the first one, denied marriage and insisted that Segun Ogungbe and her ever married, but have so where do you get that one from? From here. I was now married, engaged to Segun Ogungbe. Ogungbe never met her family, with the exception of a friend. People that had done their time together, things were good, and even after the separation, Ogungbe life has continued to move forward positively. Let me set the record straight. We were never married, not even engaged. And to my fans and so on. So that's the first one where we got it from. Let us look for another one. I was never married to Ogungbe, we just have kids. See? So you can use the two sources. They just have two kids. As the father of our children, not a husband. So, so let us use the two sources to create to make the claim. Second one, Then we can go to the next one, which is selected filmography. This is where we are going to be talking about his films. As I said, we can use we should use a structured table for that. But let us go and look at his films here. We are going to be using this one to do that. So I have a table here. You click on inside, you click on table. How many tables do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can have serial number S/N, S/N. You can have the title of the film or the title of the film. The title. You can also have the role. Then you can have the first one we are going to put in is this popular one that he said he made him popular, which is Ibidila. So you can just ask, what is the name of the okay, so the producer produce the film. Hello? I think I was logged out by the internet, right? Hello?
Well done, Muib.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know. Let me share my screen again. I was logged out by the internet so that we can continue. Which year the movie was produced? I think it's 2024, but let us go and check. I've seen the year. I'm just trying to look for a source because we cannot just put the year without the source. So the movie was produced in 2008, but we need a reliable source for that, not Facebook source. Let me check this place. If you couldn't find the source of the year, you just leave it empty and move to the next one that you are sure of the year. Okay, there's this one. What is the role? Demand. Year 2009. Next one, we have this one. Network issue. What is his role in the film? Spirit. 2017. The fourth one. This one. Let us take this last one bad turn. What is his role? Baba Idera. Okay, so let us publish what we have done first as a draft. Okay, Big Tony, you have a question? Do you have a question? I'm seeing your hand up. Big Tony, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, you picked Baba Igbira, and Baba Igbira, the role is not for one bad turn.
Okay, okay. Let me check. Oh, sorry. This is, thank you very much for that. Let me go and change it. Tambourine Gayman. So publish it. As you can see, so now the next thing we're going to be doing is to add the award section, or let us add the info box first. Info box, because of time. So the award section will also be added like filmography. Network is very bad. So let me upload it. Okay. So now for you to add the info box to your article, you can do it in two different ways. You can either click on insert, template, then you write info box here. Then let's see. So first actor, but it's not bringing it up. Let me use for passenger if for actors not coming up. Each per person. If actors not coming up. So you click on it. That's it. That's it. So if, let me do it again. You come to insert, as you put your cursor here, you come to insert, come to template, then you put info box. Info box means information box. Then you put person. We used to have actor before, but now I think it's no longer there. Now you can have the name of the person, which is you have the image of the person, then common name of the person, birth name, we have already put birth date, the date he was born, so we can put his this born on the 28th of March 1970. Let me confirm that. Okay, 28th of March 1970. So now, if you know the date and everything that he was born, you can use this template so that it can tell you the actual date of birth of the person, the actual age of the person. Just copy it, paste it here. We change the year to 1970. The month is what? March, which is 03. The date is what? 28/28. Once you click on insert, it will show you, you see age 55. To show you the age and the year, the date, the month, age, and everything to show you here. So birthplace, they said Abeokuta, right? Citizenship, Sean, actor, film producer. So if you have a lot that you wanted to list, you can use this template, unbulleted list. We call it UDL, unbulleted list. When you have unbulleted list, you can now use this pipe, actor, another pipe, film producer, another pipe, director, film director, another pipe, script writer. You can close it. When you do that one, you have something like this. Look at the way it has listed them for you. So let us publish our changes and then info box. So let us continue. Sorry, 6 plus. When are we supposed to stop the meeting? Is it about 1:30? So let's continue the info box. Let us add what we can add before we. Okay, it said notable works. So you can also list them here, UDL, bulleted list, put a type. Umberton. Let me see if this one is on Wikipedia so you can link it together. Not there. Forward. So there are a lot of films that need to write the articles. Olukikioru, the midnight sensation. But see, you're not there. So this is just another list of articles to write from. So Barton, so we have spouse here can add the names of the wife. So other ones that said got married and separated, you can put them as partner. You can put her as partner. That's one woman together. Then, when did they start their partnership? Okay. For the year later. And we also have children too that you can add. We have award here, City People Award, right? Oh no, not award again. Okay, City People Magazine Award. Movie Icon Award. 50 People Entertainment Awards. So, um, so you can do something like this to link the award together. Movie Icon Award. So you put the 20 people in the award here. 20 what? Which year? Uh, 2021. What we have done, okay, it's showing red. What's the problem? City People Entertainment Awards. We have to change this. See, it has been linked to that City People Award. So I think we can stop that for the info, stop the, in that place for the info box. Add more information for the info box. Let's see if the person has a picture on the Wikimedia Common. Sorry, that award, I will have to put reference to it. I don't think I've put reference to that award. Network, sorry, it's loading. Okay, load. I'll put the references into the award. So if you want to put the references in the info box, you have to use some codes. Just a little bit of this one. You put ref, you close it. Then you put the name. You put the link, then you close it. These are the ref tags. So as you can see, it has bring out uh, the reference, so you can publish it. So you can see, but here it is publishing like a beer reference. So okay, you come to that later. You have to add some other things to it too. This is a beer reference, as you can see. This is as if I pasted it there. But I will have to also add some. Let me just show you. Network. Okay, so what you need to do is to go to the source edit. First thing you can do is to look for a source, then use that source to edit your own. So that, but I know not all of us are familiar with source coding. You can see this is the beginning of the source ref. This is the end of the source with this thing. So all you have to do is to copy this one from the beginning to the end, then go to the info box, which is here. You paste it, then you will now be replacing them. Now, this says site web, last name of the person, first name of the person. When you look at this one, you see written by reporter, no first name, no second name. What you have to do is remove the name of this person, remove the second name too, since you don't have it in your own. Then the date. What is the date of the publication? August 30, 2021. So you go back and put August 30, which is 2021, 08, and you put 30. What is the title? The title of this one is Segun Ogunbo's biography. What's the title of this one? It's what? Winners emerged at 2021 City People Movies Award in Abeokuta. So you remove, this is the best way you can do if you know you don't know how to use the source code. So you replace it with your own title. Then they will ask you, which day did you access it? It is today that you access it. It is the same thing. The website, what is the website name? When you go back, citypeopleonline.com. Just only copy the citypeopleonline.com. That is the website name. So then you remove this your former own that you have put there before, and you are good to go. When you click on reload to check it, you will see that they are saying that access date requires URL, missing your MT. So you go back and check what you are missing here is URL. So if you don't have the URL, you can also remove the access date too. Okay. We have to put the URL here. So let me put this one. URL of article. For the title, then you have the URL. It have to come after pipe. Okay. You need to get something like that. As you can see now, so let's come back. Then you can put the access date, which is today, 2023 0813. You can load it. See? Oh, sorry, 2025 0802. So that's how you can do the references if you are using the source code. As you can see that it is for people that don't understand the language, the visual edit is much more easier than the source code. Because at times it can even confuse you. So now, the next thing that we are going to be doing is, look at the time. The time is almost, so we are going to be moving it into the main space. I think we have finished everything that we are going to do now. So the next thing is to move it into the main space. So another thing is we need to add the article description under template, short description. So I have Nigerian actor. Hit first. Description. So here is it. You have our article here. So what we need to do now is to move it. For you to move, you come to tools here. You see, this is the move. You take it to the article section. So other reason, fully developed, then was previously deleted, when you check the delete, it is for namespace delete. As you can see, it's cross namespace delete. By this in 2022. So it should not be a problem. Okay, so the article has been created. This is it. It is because my account is Ultra Patroller account. That's why you are seeing it like this. If not, it will have required someone to review it. But once I create article, it automatically review itself. That's why you are seeing this one as thick like this. Okay, so we have come to the end of it. Any questions or observations? Thank you very much. I think this is the end of the training for biography of the living person when it comes to actors and actresses. So now the next thing is you have to add the category. So you put Nigerian actor. So you can also put 1970 birth. 1970 birth. 1970 births. You can also put Nigerian film producer. Actors. Yeah. Also make some other few edits like WikiLink. This movie icon award by city people. Okay. Here too, we can also add. We did not add it that time. It is the nephew of the Nigerian actor. It's a Nigerian veteran actor. Okay. So this one has an article on Wikipedia. So let me see if that source can carry it, or I have to add another source. Okay, so I have to add the source, which is source number 2. So it's source number 2. Okay, so let me there. This one should be here. So this one should be 1. So now there's something called orphan. If this article is not linked to any other article, it can be regarded as an orphan article. So let us check what links here. You come here, you check what links here. Let's see other articles that are linked to this article. So all these are not articles. Let's just check everything. You see, all these are not articles. So what I'm going to do is to go to the article of his uncle and try and link them together. Let me see if I can see his name there. Sure. Okay. You see, this is his name. So let me link them together. So I think that's all for today. Questions, please. Okay, there's a question here. If someone has an existing draft on article, is the draft copyrighted on Wikipedia? No, the draft is not copyrighted. And so if a draft does not exist for your proposed article, if a draft does exist for a proposed article, what can you do? You can improve the draft and also move the draft into the main space. Do you get it? You can, because if you have a draft with that name, you cannot create another draft with that name unless you are going to be changing the name, which is not appropriate. So when you have an existing draft, it's because my own draft has been deleted already. So that's why you can see that I don't even have to go to the delete version. I just create and include. Now, but if you have draft and the draft is already on Wikipedia, the draft is an existing draft, you can go to that draft, improve it, and move the draft into the main space. But when you are sure that the article is good to go, and if you know that you are not sure, you can use the article for creation where other people can come and approve the article for you. I hope the question is clear. Thank you. Sislos. Another question? Another question? So that's how to do article creation and the rest. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can take your questions and call it a day.